So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Tasha, and I am with Happy Life, Better Life. So, I just want to thank you for coming and joining me today. Today, I guess I have more of a question. And the question is, could you leave the familiar to embrace the unknown? Could you leave the familiar to embrace the unknown? Um, I'm in a place where I kind of have to make a decision about that. Um, Many of us, we get used to doing things in a very traditional way. We go to school, we graduate high school. Some of us go on to continue our education. Some of us go right into other jobs. And for some of us, it's kind of a varied experience. Some of us are, I guess, fortunate enough to be able to take our time to figure out which road we want to take, which path or course we want to go in life. And others of us, we may not have that luxury. Like I said, many of us may go right into the workforce. So for me, it's been a little bit of going into the workforce, going to school, but not finishing, getting married, having children. It was a process. And then after having children, trying to go back to school again, and then also going through a separation and a divorce ultimately, then going back to school again after working, trying to, support my daughter as well when she was going through college. And that's the funny thing about that. When for us as parents, sometimes when we're not able to achieve our ultimate goals in certain areas of life, we definitely live vicariously through our children. We do. I had made up my mind that whatever it took, I was going to make sure that my daughter finished college. Her father was also instrumental in that, because while she was away at college, he would send money and stuff for her every week. We both fully supported her because we did not want her to have to worry about finances, and we just wanted her to be able to focus on learning and her education. And she graduated, and she actually has an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree, like communications, electronic media, these things. And right now, my daughter's working at Bath and Body Works. And so she hasn't used her degree as of yet, which doesn't mean that she won't. But for me as a parent, initially, I was really like, oh my gosh, we did not do all this sacrificing for you to do what you're doing. But at the end of the day, it's your children's path, and you have to allow them to find their way. You can advise, you can instruct, you can encourage, you can admonish, you can do all those things. But at the end of the day, it's their life, and they're going to make their own choice. So while I did not accomplish that goal of getting a degree for myself, I was able to do that for my daughter. And now I find myself in a place where I have to make some major decisions. And I am definitely leaning towards letting go of the familiar. I've been at my job. I work for a school district, and I've been there for about, I guess, almost 7 years now. And I've been really grateful to work with the people that I work with, and my immediate supervisor is just a wonderful, wonderful woman. One of the best, I would say, bosses I've had in life. She's just been very wonderful, very supportive. And now I find myself in a place where I may have to leave what's familiar to embrace something that's new. And there's several reasons for that. One for myself, and one for my son, who's been battling an illness for a while. So I have to figure out how I'm going to do things differently. I met someone recently, and they I'm just kind of enamored with their lifestyle. I'm not saying that I could do it, but I'm enamored with it. Basically, they've traveled all over the world, going different places, and they've been to at least like 44 different countries. They've been to Vietnam, they've been to Africa, they've been, all over the world. And they have done that by basically being a nomad, sometimes relying on the kindness of others that they meet. Sometimes they said they've been couch surfing. Other times they say when they're in the States, they will put up a Craigslist thing and do odd jobs for people, to make money, which is usually going towards their next trip, their next flight. But they've said there's been many times they've gone to other countries and they just had a one-way ticket and really didn't know exactly where they were going to stay, where they were going to sleep, where they were going to eat per se. And this has been their lifestyle. But they are one of, I would probably say, the most fulfilled people that I know, one of the most at peace with themselves. And believe me, they get a lot of flack for their lifestyle. They do. They said a lot of people don't understand and would be like, I could never do that. I could never do that. But as I was listening to them, I don't know, there was no judgment in me about it. And if I had questions about something, I would ask questions. But honestly, for the most part, I was thinking, wow, that's very adventurous. It's pretty cool. Yes, it's different. It's not the norm. But then we don't realize that a lot of times we've been educated to become workers. We've been educated to become consumers. That we are sort of like that mouse, going around on that wheel, kind of trapped, trying to find the cheese, that kind of thing. And getting to the place where, we get comfortable in that. We conform. That's just our society. That's the way it is. But what about when you start feeling so dissatisfied in your own life, You feel like something is missing. You feel like you're not walking in your purpose. You feel like you're not experiencing all that life really has to offer. And so when that happens, a lot of times you can find yourself feeling stagnant. So if you're feeling stagnant and you're feeling stuck, I want to know, do you have the strength, do you have the courage to leave the familiar, to embrace the unknown? So think about that today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear you chime in. If you know of people who have done that and you know of success stories, because that's not the only story that I know of, but that's just the one I'm sharing today. So if you get a chance, please comment, like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for joining me again with Happy Life, Better Life, and I will talk to you next time. Have a great day.